right, so you made it to the sound design section of the course. In this first video, we're going to be talking about the most important thing: where do you get sound effects for your videos? So I'm going to share with you my top 3 places that I go to get sound effects so that I can do sound design in my videos in post. Number 1 is probably the most obvious, but also the best way to get audio for your videos is to just record it on set. When you record on set, you have an audio guy there that's actually dedicated to getting audio, getting the sound effects that you need so that you can use them in post. You're going to end up getting exactly what you want instead of, things that other people have recorded and trying to just make them work. It's just going to sound natural because you're obviously recording it in the right place with the right people with the right action. And because of that, when you're working with real audio from your set, it doesn't need a lot of work in post. A lot of times it's just a matter of throwing it into your timeline, maybe adjusting the volume a little bit, and then it just works because the ambience is right, the reverb is right, the location is right, the action is right, everything lines up and works really well. So it makes that whole process way easier. Now, it doesn't make it easier on set though, because you definitely have to put in a little bit more effort and time and maybe a little more investment into shooting on set to make sure that you get the audio right. You need to have an expert, somebody who knows what they're doing, knows how to record high quality audio. And because of that, that means that you probably have to hire somebody, which requires an investment. And, you have to work with somebody else. So it makes it a little bit more difficult on set. Now, what a lot of filmmakers will do is they'll just throw a microphone on top of their camera and go around and shoot with that. And that works pretty well for scratch audio. But if you really want to get the highest quality, that doesn't work as well because the microphone isn't really close enough to the action to capture it the way that you want to. So if you really want to do it right, get an audio guy on set, have him there, somebody who knows what they're doing, knows how to record audio and get it professional quality, and then let them get the audio for you so that you can work with it in post. Now, if you aren't able to record the audio on set, if you don't have an audio guy or not able to do it yourself and get the audio while you're shooting, then the second best thing is to go to a paid sound library. Now, there's a lot of websites out there that will offer you sound effects that you can use, usually for a paid subscription or a one-time fee for downloading the sound effects. And some of my favorites are Artlist is one that I use. Artlist has a plan where they license music, so you can pay, I think, $199 a year for their music licensing, so that's unlimited music. And then you can add on to that and pay $299 a year and get Artlist music and sound effects. So you get access to their whole library. It's completely unlimited as long as you're paying a subscription. So if you're doing a lot of video work throughout the year, then this might make the most sense for you because then you can just access their library as much as you want and get all the sound effects that you need in order to work on your projects. The other option is if you're an Adobe subscriber and you're using Adobe Audition, either paying for that app specifically or if you're paying for their full suite. Audition does come with a huge library of sound effects as well. So that's another option. The only downside to that is that you do have to be paying for the subscription. I think for just the app Audition is about $20 a month. And then if you want the full Adobe suite, that's about $50 a month. But as long as you're paying that subscription, you can get access to those sound effects as well. The big advantage to using sound libraries is that you have a huge library of sound effects to choose from. So you might be able to find things that you didn't think of or that you didn't think of shooting and recording while you were on set. And so then you can pull all those things, you can download whatever you need in order to use them in your edit. And I think, for what you're getting for the size of the libraries, they are relatively cheap. It's not that much that you have to pay in order to have access to these whole things. Now, the problem with sound libraries is that, well, the sound wasn't recorded on your set at your location with your action, so you're not necessarily going to get exactly what you want, which means that in post, it takes a little bit more work to make it sound natural. You might have to add effects to it. You might have to change things around a little bit in order to make the audio sound natural. And we'll, of course, go through how to do a lot of that in this section of the course so that if you are working with sound from libraries, you'll be able to make it sound good in your edit. And the third way, if you are on a cheap budget or you're doing a passion project and you don't have the budget to spend money on getting an audio guy or buying a sound library, there are free sound effects out there and free sound libraries out there. The one that I kind of gravitate to is called freesound.org. It's basically just a community of people that love recording sounds and they upload them to the site. It's kind of like a social media site for people that upload sounds. And you can search through their database and find tons and tons of sounds and download any of them for free. All you have to do is create an account and then you can download them and use them in your project. The only thing that you have to worry about with free sound effects is licensing. So with any licensing site that is offering free sound effects, most of the time there's going to be some sort of conditions as far as whether you need to attribute the person who created it, or if you need to only use it in personal work and not commercial work. And so you need to pay attention to that. That certainly applies to free sound as well. So you look on the site, on each sound effect, you'll be able to see what the license restrictions are on that clip. And I highly recommend following those as you go. But if that's all your budget allows, it is still a really awesome resource, and you can find some really good stuff on there even for free. So there you go. There's my top 3 places that I go to get quality sound effects. Wherever you decide to get the sound effects from, make sure that they're high quality. Try to get the best quality that you can. And then in the rest of this section, as we go through these course videos, I'll walk you through how to work with the audio that you have to make it sound the best that you possibly can in the final edit.